as I was saying, basically there's new leaks of Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is pretty dope, and I think you'll like it. It's not really much about the plot of the game, but it does show some. So basically, those new leaks about like the web slinging. You'll get like 3 modes. Arcade's one of them, and like you also get different ones. It's just like the original Spider-Man 2 game. You got 2 ones, easy or like normal. I think that was the 2 options for the original one. So basically, there's also leaks about Venom and Carnage. Like, well, mostly Venom. So yeah, we definitely know that all the information we've gathered is the second one's probably going to be the best game out of all of them now. Because there's meant to be 2 more after the second game. Maybe 2 Miles games and maybe 2 Peter games that we've already saw one of. So I made this video because I thought it'd be a good idea to introduce the Sinister 16. So I've been thinking that while fighting against all the other villains, basically, you know how Doc Ock wanted to cure all the villains? We're basically going to get them to do that, but we're going to get Miles to face them this time. But there's going to be a little problem with Miles fighting. He's not really as skilled as much as Spider-Man, or at least what we know of anyway. We don't know what timeline this is set in or when it's set in.
But it's not set in any timeline, it's set in its own timeline.
Ah. So basically, Miles is going to be weaker because he doesn't really know much, and all the villains are going to get upgrades. Well, Spider-Man has to face off 6 other villains, and 4 other ones will be like mini boss battles, but they'll all come against at the end. So I kind of want to go through all of the villains. Right, so I'm actually just going to tell you some, like one of the new Sinister 6 members in the leaks online. Venom's going to be 1, Green Goblin's going to be 2, the 3rd's going to be Carnage, the 4th's going to be Mysterio, the 5th is going to be Lizard, and the 6th is going to be Craven. But now as we say that, we also have the original Sinister 6. Scorpion's 1, Rhino's 2, Max Dillon's aka Electro's 3, 4th would be Vulture, 5th would be Mr. Negative, and 6th would be Dr. Octopus. So they add both of them up would be 12, but what about the remaining 4? I decided to get all old villains. Some of the old villains, and chose 2 of my own. That will be appearing. So the 13th villain would actually be Kingpin, and he's going to be a mini boss fight, but it might be hard in my opinion, because he's going to have like all these drones and all that in Spider-Man. 14th will be Shocker, but his suit's bulletproof and webs will just electrify back to Spider-Man. 15th would be a teaser for the 3rd game I have a little mind on, would be Sandman as an elemental game, but I'm choosing him because, you know, I want to. And the last one would be Chameleon, because he was also teased when you were trying to catch fake Spider-Man. Then the 3rd and 4th game will basically add new villains. That we've not saw. Like Swarm, Molten Man, Hydro Man, who else? And that's mostly it. So basically, I'll tell you why I chose all the villains. Number 1's pretty easy. I chose the Goblin because he's pretty important to the story. This is going to have to do with cloning. I think they're going to get Spider-Man and clone him to convince people that he's evil. but Peter would knock him out, like knock the clone out. Because in the game, they were teasing something with like his helmet, not like the Goblin's prototype helmet. And they were also telling us that they were trying to either reverse or clone Peter's powers. Well, like in this Mary Jane stealth mission where you're trying to find out about like Norman's penthouse and all that. So that's pretty interesting, so yeah. And also because he's Harry's dad, and it would just not be really a game where you're including him. Second villain's Vulture. I don't know why I just want to include him back, because he's one of the members of the original Sinister Six that was in the game. Third is Sandman. A teaser for the third game. He's actually teased in this game with like the vial of sand and all that, so yeah. Fourth would be Dr. Octopus turning into... Actually, I just love a pretty good storyline. So Norman gets Doc Ock and clones him, and then sends Doc Ock to like pass out Peter, steal some of his blood with his powers, and Norman would drink it or like put it into him. Then he would have powers of Spider-Man. So that would actually make sense, you know. Yeah, I clicked the wrong button. Hold on. So like literally press like the wrong, well, that would give him the powers. Fifth would be Electro, because he was part of the original. Venom was the next one, the sixth. I don't even know the sixth. I don't even know. Well, I chose him because all the leaks online about him being in the game. It only makes sense. Because he's been in leaks, he's been teased and all that in the first game. The seventh would be Mysterio, he's also teased. Eighth would be Chameleon, he wasn't, well he was. And ninth would be Craven. Do you want to know why? Because I have no idea why. So yeah. The 10th would be Carnage, because there's leaks online. 11th would be the Lizard. Leaks. Martin Lee would... No, right. I'm just going to do this. So we'll have the Kingpin, Shocker, Sandman and Chameleon just as 4 separate villains. Then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This Sinister Six. Then I would have basically Venom, Green Goblin, Carnage, Mysterio, Lizard, and the Craven is 1 Sinister Six. As up to 12 goes all the way to like 16.
This is Friday Night Smack that Lillian's already talking over me.
So yeah. So yeah, and that makes sense, only makes sense. It wouldn't make sense to know lads. See?
Right, well, yes, welcome to SmackDown. I am your host, the living legend, Lance Crisco, joined as always by my co-commentator, JDL, John Dave Shirley.
We fight on Friday nights, Crisco.
Alright, there we go. Let's start things off with fighting back. Big E can also fight back. Oh my god, huge power! Hello, and welcome to Universe Mode. This is Velocity. I am, unfortunately, your host, the living legend, Lance Crisco. Sad. Yeah, here's the clock ticking. Yeah. Antonio's coming.
Then maybe in the third game there could be another Sinister Six. Maybe.
Are you hearing voices in your... Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is Saturday SmackDown because we're in Las Vegas and we were gambling our money away all night long. We forgot about the show.
Yeah, but we don't actually know yet. So far we've got the Sinister 16. Links online about the web slinging, the map and all that. It's not that bad.
Well, I'm not gonna...
I'm going to end the stream here. That was basically stuff. I'll keep you up to date on new information if there is any.